Hey everyone, it's Dennis from Florida Native Fishing Channel. On this video I'm going to be going over an introduction to my channel, kind of like the things I'm going to be talking about. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and also give you a tour of my boat, which is a Blue Water 2350. So on this channel, for the first month or two, mainly I'm going to be, showing you how to tie different rigs and make different rigs, knots, go over the equipment I use for when I'm targeting certain species. And then eventually I would like to start making videos on the water to kind of give you more tutorials on the water, which I think will be helpful and obviously make for a little better content. As far as myself, I'm a South Florida native. I've been down here since I was a kid, actually since I was a baby. So I'm from Boynton Beach, Florida. The inlet we fish out of is Boynton Beach, which is a nice inlet. Maybe not so much for navigating, it can be a little rough and daunting, but as far as fishing wise, we have a unique fishery due to the fact that we're so we're very close to the continental shelf, meaning our waters get deep very quick, and we have state waters out to 500 feet of water, and not far out from that is the Gulf Stream, which opens you up to catching mahi and swordfish and things like that. But one thing I do love about Boynton Beach is the fact that we can catch snowy grouper and a lot of those good deep water species all year long, really without any actually with no closures to the snowy grouper fishery, which I think down the line in the next year or so they're actually going to close that down in state waters as well, which is really unfortunate. So I'm going to give you a little tour of my boat here. Let's do this. So this here is my helm, and this is where I spend most of my time when I'm fishing in this area. But these are my bottom machine, which is a Garmin 7212 with an Airmar B265 chirp transducer, which is a great transducer. It's probably one of the better 1kW transducers you can find. Right here is my Simrad NSS Evo with my Seymour Maps chips, which I really love that Seymour map feature because it pretty much is going to give you a picture of what the bottom under you looks like, and it takes the guesswork out of really looking for spots and finding spots. It'll show you all the wrecks and things like that, so it's money well spent in my opinion. Up here I have a nice helm pad here, which is good, storm stuff. You throw it up there and it's not going anywhere. Here, right there, and that little cutout is a wireless phone charger, so you don't ever have to worry about your phones dying when you're out there fishing. Right here, I have this safety feature here, which is a Fell Marine Man Overboard key fob. So it's pretty much a fob that throw in your pocket or put it somewhere on your body, so when you're fishing, you don't have to worry about being tethered to your kill switch, and you have free reign of the boat. And if my son's on the boat, I can throw one of those fobs on him, so the unfortunate happens and he happens to slip off the boat or something, my engines will die. Got my switch panels here, obviously control my live well, wash down, electronics, navigation lights, and all that stuff. A couple rod holders here, Plano box storage that holds 3 Plano boxes. I'm going to walk you back here to my stern, which is where I do a lot of my fishing, due to the fact I fish alone a lot, and I like to be in close proximity to my my bottom machine and the wheel of my boat. These are my engines. They're twin 175 Evinrude E-Tex, which I love these engines. For 2 strokes, for one, they're quiet, they don't smoke at all, and they're very good on fuel. So they're great engines. Despite what everyone has said, I haven't had any issues with them. I've put over 500 hours on these engines and haven't had any issues. Got an Armstrong bracket here with C-deck on the platform, which is nice. Makes it comfortable when people are diving and getting in and out of the boat. Here we have a 35-gallon circulating live well, which is plenty big enough for me because it keeps the fish alive, all day. My bait fish alive. Here is like a bait station with a cutting board under there, and I store my knives in there and stuff, so when I want to cut bait I just do it there. Down here we have fish box here, fish box here. These are nice when we're trolling. If you catch a wahoo, open that fish box, gaff him, throw him in there, and close the lid. You don't want a wahoo or mahi flapping around on deck, especially a wahoo with a mouthful of teeth. If they hit your leg, you're probably going to be taking a trip to the emergency room. And here is my bilge access, which is, you know, amazing because it's very big, easy to get to things in there. It's where my oil tanks are and my fuel filters and things like that. Here we have access to my batteries and my battery switches. Right here on the starboard side, we have 2 rod holders here, which I use those for trolling. 2 rod holders on here under the gunnel. Here I have my swivel swordfish rod holder, which is obviously used for sword fishing. 2 more rod holders here. More rod storage with my washdown. Hubble plug here for your swordfish buoy rod. Also have a Hubble plug underneath my gunnel here for my main swordfish rod holder. Under my seat is where I like to keep a lot of storage. My battery for deep dropping because I don't like hooking to the main power. Bucket with cast net. My little milk crate here that I use to put all my fishing equipment in for the day. Deep drop weights, my plugs, my trolling lures, leaders and all that. And it's nice because when I go on a buddy's boat, I can load that up, throw it in his boat, and I have pretty much everything I need. My rocket launcher has 4 rod holders, 3 cup holders. I have 6 rod holders across the top of my T-top, which is good. Rod holder here, which I normally throw a spinning rod in with a hook ready to go. So if mahi swims up to the boat while we're deep dropping or out sword fishing, you just throw a squid on there or a live bait and toss it to the fish, and works out well. Have my gaffs on this side of the boat here, which are nice. I just have a strap on it, you unstrap it and you got your gaff. When I'm fishing alone, I will normally already have a gaff ready to go in this rod holder waiting for me when I'm trolling. And here is my console, mainly used for just storage and stuff, and you know, my fire extinguishers in there, my buoy, my grundin, and you know, tackle bags and stuff going here, so they're not really on the deck getting in the way. We step up here to the bow area, which when I'm fishing with buddies, this is normally where they're going to be. Fish box here, fish box on that side, and a very big coffin box, which I can fit in, and I'm not a small guy. I'm about 6'2", 200 pounds, and I can fit in there pretty easily. So what I did on top of that coffin box is I put an Arctic 145, which kind of adds a little weight to my bow, and you know, it's just easier to get into that way, and it doubles as a seat for my buddies when they're up here deep dropping. You can see I have a rod holder there and a rod holder up here, so you can deep drop 2 rods up there and 1 or 2 in the back. So I've deep dropped with 3 people before on the boat, and we haven't had any issues, no tangles or anything. Another thing, when you're sitting down up there and you get thirsty, you got your drinks under your butt. Walk up here. It's my anchor locker. Obviously I keep my anchor in there, anchor line, and my anchor ball, which I use to retrieve my anchor. Here is my navigation light, which flips up and down, flips up and then flips down when you're not using it, so it doesn't get damaged. Another rod holder here. This is looking back from front to back of my boat. Here is an insulated ice box, which will hold ice for a couple days, and it's good. You know, you can store drinks in there too, or you know, bottom fish if you're fishing. That. We'll walk back this way. And this boat's great. I mean, for the size, for a 23.5 foot boat, it doesn't really get any bigger. I've been on plenty of 23-foot boats and they didn't have this much fishing room on it. The boat overall length is almost 26 feet with the bracket, so it really gives you the maximum fishing room inside of the boat. And it's just a great boat. It rides well. I've been out in some pretty nasty stuff that I probably shouldn't have been. I fished a tournament one day in this boat, and it was probably 10 foot out there, and we fished a whole day, me and my buddy, and you know, caught fish, and we did pretty well. Right there is it's a little door, a dive door or whatever. If you catch a big swordfish, you can pull them in through that door. When you're diving, it makes it easier, or snorkeling, it makes it easier to get in and out of the boat. Have storage under the seat here where I keep, you know, my deep drop cords, things like that, Plano boxes, Pringles, your EPIRB. If you're fishing offshore, it's a good idea to have an EPIRB just in case, you know, something bad happens, which hopefully that doesn't ever happen. Got my wash down. Yep, and this is looking back. That is the boat. Oh, this is where I keep my life vest. And yeah, that's my boat. I hope you like this little intro. If you have any questions regarding the boat or regarding my channel, go ahead and drop them down in the comments section of this video. Alright everyone, have a good day.